everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are all doing amazing today as usual, or tonight, or this afternoon, wherever you are. Today I am going to be doing my August reading wrap up. So I read 9 books in August, and I also DNF'd one, so not as many books as the past 2 months, but still a lot more than I've read in previous months. So we are going to go through them all today. As usual, please remember to subscribe. My Goodreads is linked in the description bar. So are my 2 Instagrams, my personal Instagram and also my Bookstagram. So definitely follow and add me on those. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I was gonna do a Q&A video maybe. If anybody would be interested, let me know. I think that would be fun. So yeah. But let's just dive on into the wrap up. So August was a weird month for me. If you've watched my previous video, the bookshelf tour, I spoke about how I didn't have the best August. It was kind of a bit of a disaster health wise. So I didn't get off to the best start reading wise, and then I got into a bit of a slump, but towards the end of the month I pulled it back and managed to get some reading done, so I'm happy about that. Where shall we start? So sorry about that noise, it's the iPad, so I can see what I read. Because I forget, honestly, is there anyone else who will read a book, really love it, and then not be able to remember anything about it? That's me. I don't know if it's because I read so fast that I literally I could finish a book and start a different book on the same day within the same hour. So let's just dive into it. So the first book that I read in August was Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I'm sure a lot of you will have already read this. It is a hockey romance. And it follows Nate, who plays ice hockey, and Anastasia, who's a figure skate, what they called, an ice skater. And she is training to be on the Olympic team, whereas Nate is the captain of his team. And basically a prank is pulled and they end up having to share a rink for some a period of time, and it follows their developing relationship, going from 2 people who wouldn't necessarily get on to being together. I loved this book, really loved this book. I gave it 4.5 stars, which I did not expect at all. Honestly, I think it portrays a really healthy relationship, which I really enjoyed reading about. There's lots of communication in there, understanding. It does follow some very difficult subjects, so I would check any trigger warnings, mental health trigger warnings before you do good spicing. You couldn't tell from the cover, but there's a lot of spice, and it's good. It's good spice. I honestly said, like some parts of this, like their relationship when they were like communicating and talking things out, like it felt like therapy to me. Like, this is a book that I would definitely go back to, like time and time again. I did say that I think the ending was a bit rushed. I thought there was going to be a second book that followed these two characters, but like the next book, is it called like Wildfire? It follows like two separate characters, but they're all like interlinked, which I'm really excited for. I've pre-ordered a signed copy of that one. But yeah, I thought the ending was a bit rushed. Like, I could have read like another full book following these two. But apart from that, Chef's Kiss, so good. Would definitely recommend. It is quite thick. Like, it could have probably been a little bit shorter, but again, like, not really any complaints there. I thought it went like really quick. So, defo a recommendation. Then I read Credence by Penelope Douglas. I love this cover. This follows TNN, whose parents die, and she moves to live in Colorado with her like step uncle and 3 step cousins. This is a taboo romance, okay? And it is definitely a taboo romance, so technically she is not like blood related to her step uncle and her like step cousins, but they are still like a family, I guess. I gave this 3 stars. I thought I was gonna like enjoy it a little bit more, but I just don't. When I was reading this, I was like, I do not know how to feel. Like, I didn't know whether to be turned on. I didn't know whether to be creeped out. I felt like uncomfortable. But then I also like did enjoy reading it. I loved the setting, like the cozy cabin vibes. I was all about that. Like, really enjoyed that. If you've got any like, if anybody knows any books which are set in like the wilderness with like cozy cabin, like forest settings, please let me know, because I really enjoyed that. But the romance, I don't know how to feel about it. It was a bit of a challenge, just because they're like related, I guess. I suppose like not by blood, but still, it was just, I don't know. I do not know. Again, this is actually also quite long. I thought it could have probably been a lot shorter. So I did say that the plot was kind of all over the place. Like, it was so back and forth, and like it just didn't flow properly. Like, it didn't like flow smoothly, and I did struggle with that, because I was just like, at some points I was just like, what is actually going on? Like, what is the point of these events happening? And like, I just sometimes felt like she was literally just writing like anything that like Penelope Douglas was like writing anything that came into her head without thinking it through. One thing that I have noticed about Penelope Douglas' books is like, she always makes sex like, it always has to have some like deep soulful meaning. It can't just be like sex. Like, it's always like, oh, we needed this because we were so lost and lonely, and that really irks me. Like, no, it doesn't always have to be like those things like I just don't buy. But still, like, I did enjoy it. It was a 3 stars. It was like an average read. Setting alone, probably like a 4.5. I love the setting, but the rest of it, not so much. I think this is probably my least favourite Penelope Douglas that I've read so far. Just because I felt like it did make me feel uncomfortable, but yeah, anyway. Okay, and then next, so at this point, this is when I like had my little like health issue, so I was not reading, like I could not read at all. So to get me back into like the swing of things, I needed something just like really easy to read, like wasn't gonna like consume too much of like my time, wasn't like gonna be some like huge fantasy world where I had to like remember all the interlinked characters and everything, just like something really simple but enjoyable. So I picked up a teenage fiction, teenage horror, and this is aimed at like very young teenagers. Like I think the characters in this are like 13, and that is Bite Risk by S.J. Willis. For a start, I love this cover. It's got like sprayed edges of like claw marks, and then the front gives me like old horror film vibes. And this is set in a world where every like full moon, the parents turn in, like the adults in the world turn into werewolves. That's why it's called Bite Risk. So yeah, they turn into werewolves. However, in the story, things start to like come undone. There's a lot of like conspiracy theory type questions and like issues in the book. And it just follows this like group of like teenagers trying to figure out what is happening and why. But there are a lot of twists, to be fair. Like there are a lot of twists that I wasn't expecting. So I gave this 3 stars. It was like literally what I needed at the time. It would be really good for like, you know, young teenagers if they were into like horror and stuff. It was just like fun, easy. So this got me out of my little like slump and got me back into the swing of things reading. So thank you, this book. Then I read on my Kindle, you can't see, I read Mile High by Liz Tomford. Yeah, again, probably one that a lot of people have read. This has such high reviews, like on like Bookstagram and stuff, and like Goodreads, people absolutely love it. So again, it is another hockey romance. Guy Sander is like a professional ice hockey player, and the female Stevie is like an air hostess on the team plane. Sander's like a typical, well, he's first portrayed as like your typical like narcissistic, arrogant athlete, and Stevie is just not into that whatsoever. But it follows both of them and again their developing relationship. I don't understand why this book is so popular. Honestly, it's, for a start, the book is like super long. It goes on, like I felt like it was super long anyway, and I just found it a bit boring. Honestly, like I was kind of just like, oh my god, is this ever gonna end? Like, what is going on? What is gonna happen? I gave it 3.25, so I don't know if my expectations were just like too high, that I was like let down, but I was expecting to be like blown away. I was expecting it to be like an icebreaker type situation, but it wasn't. So I do appreciate the fact that the main female character is a curvy girl, because I don't think we get enough of those in books. Like in every romance. She's always like petite and tiny, which, you know, is fine, but we like a little bit of diversity. So Curvy Girl was a nice change, but overall, like, I just thought it was a bit dull, and like a lot happened, but not much happened. I just found myself getting bored, which isn't great, I suppose. But yeah, I do want to read Right Move though. I've heard that Right Move, which follows two different characters who are mentioned in the first book, I've heard that is like really, really good. So I'm going to read that this month, and I'm hoping for the best. Because if I'm let down again, I'm not going to believe anything that anyone says ever again. Okay, what do we have next? So next I read The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. This is my third Grady Hendrix book, and it is my favourite Grady Hendrix book so far. I had high expectations for this, and it didn't disappoint. I did give this 4 stars. It was just so good. I really, really enjoyed it. I will read you like the synopsis. Patricia Campbell's life has never felt smaller. Her husband is a workaholic, her teenage kids have their own lives, her senile mother-in-law needs constant care, and she's always a step behind on her endless to-do list. The only thing keeping her sane is her book club, a close-knit group of Charleston women united by the love of true crime. Then James Harris walks into her life during the summer of 1993. He makes her feel things she hadn't felt in years, but when children on the other side of town go missing, Patricia wonders if he's connected. Is he a Brad Pitt, a Bundy, or something much worse? I love this book. I love the characters in it. I thought they were so well written. As a mum, like, I could relate to some of the some of the things that they went through, some of the things that they said, which was funny. And there was like just enough gore and like action to keep it like really interested and flowing. I definitely recommend this one. If you're wanting to read a Grady Hendrix, this is definitely my recommendation at the moment. The other, I've read My Best Friend's Exorcism and The Final Girl Support Group, and they were like between like a 3 and a 3.5, I think, or 3.75. But this is so good. It's also like just very clever. So yeah, love this book. Love women. I just love this book. Okay. Then, so usually I feel like I listen to like maybe like 4 audiobooks a month, but okay. This month, my audiobook situation was a dire. I started the month reading Babel. Again, such a popular book, like has like a million 5-star reviews on Goodreads. I couldn't, oh my god. I listened to 7 hours of this book. It's a 21-hour like audiobook. I listened to 7 hours. I mean, I listen at like a faster speed, so I probably listen to between like 4 hours like real time, but still like 7 hours, and that is the time that I will never get back. And it was a struggle. Like, I was forcing myself to listen to this book, and I just thought in the end I was just like, I've got more than half left. Like, I can't do it. I listened to a third, was so bored. I was so bored. I couldn't even really tell you what it was about. It's like a fantasy. It's at Oxford. It follows like can't remember the names, but the main character basically comes to Oxford to study translation, and then loads of shit happens and it turns into like a fantasy kind of, but it kind of isn't at the same time. I have no idea. Like this, if you want to know what it's about, you're gonna have to Google it because I shoved it out of my brain. I was so bored. I just didn't care about the characters. I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't like. It didn't really feel like a fantasy. I just wasn't for me. So DNF that, and it takes me a lot to DNF. I did give it like 2 stars though, what I listened to, because I thought, like, I could see the effort. And again, like, so many people love it, so maybe I'm just unappreciative of it. I don't know. But then I was like, okay, I need something a bit faster paced. So I listened to Legendborn by Tracy Dion, which is the first in the Legendborn series. Is it a duology? Not too sure. I really enjoyed this audiobook. I definitely recommend the audiobook. I gave it 4 stars. I think I've only ever given an audio and one other audiobook for a 4 star, which was The Stolen Heir, so it was so good. Again, it's like a fantasy. It's a fantasy. The setting is at a college. Almost recently, Dad passed away, and she is at college, and she discovers some otherworldly situation that is going on, and she gets involved in that kind of like a secret society. But there is a character, he's called Selwyn Sell, who is like very opposed to her joining the secret society. There's also a little bit of like romance in there, lots of like demons, like history based situations. It was really good. It was really fast paced. It's a young adult fantasy. There was like lots of twists. One of the twists took me a little bit of time to like kind of figure out, but it was good. So I'm excited to read Bloodmarked, which is the second book in the series. Definitely will be probably buying the physical copy. I'm going to buy the physical copy of this book as well to have on my bookshelf because I did enjoy it that much. So yeah, that was a win for the audiobook. For sure. Okay, next we have The Sun and Its Shade by Piper CJ. This is the second in the Night and Its Moon series. Okay, I started reading this at the end of July, start of August, and I got like halfway through, and I put it down, and I was like, I'm gonna finish it at some point. So I picked it back up, but like I picked up the audiobook of it, so I was like, I'm just gonna listen to it. But I just couldn't get back into it. I did finish it, but I gave it 2 stars. I don't know. The Night and Its Moon I read last year, and I remember really enjoying it. It was one of the first books I read when I was like getting back into reading, so I thought it was so good. I gave it like 4 stars, and I don't know if I've just left it too long or whether I've just read like so many more books and so many more fantasy books that now I have like a better appreciation for fantasy worlds, that if I read The Night and Its Moon again, I don't know if I like it as much. But when I was reading this, I was just like, I don't really care about the characters anymore. It's confusing. The world isn't like that spectacular. Like I can see a lot of similarities to like other books that are already out. definitely struggled. Like I thought about DNFing like a few times, and I was just like, no, I'm just gonna finish it. I still don't really understand this book. Like, it is literally just a sequence of events where nothing is like really building up to anything. Like, it literally is just a chapter of something that happens, and then another chapter of something that happens. So the Night and This Moon, it follows two girls, Amaris and Nox, who Amaris is like half fae, and Nox ends up being, I don't even know, they live in this like child mill, they get separated, and it's like their quest to like find each other again. Amaris becomes a reaver, Nox becomes like a seductress, and loads of like there's like demons and stuff involved, but like it's just confusing. It's like marketed as like a bisexual fantasy, but it's more like a polyamorous fantasy. But they need to market it as that, because it's not marketed as that, the romance doesn't seem believable. So I was just like, okay, 2 stars. Sorry, I just don't care about the characters anymore, and it's really long. It's so long. It's like 650 pages. That's definitely gonna be one, like a series that I'm not gonna finish. I know that there's another book out, and there's gonna be another book out, but I'm done with it. So I'm probably gonna end up giving it away at some point. So yeah, but I got through it. Then I listened to Warriors, Witches, Women, Mythologies of Fiercest Females by Kate Hodges and Harriet Marion. Oh no, she's an illustrator, sorry. I listened to this on Audible again, really, really quick. It literally goes on for like, I listened to like, it was like 6 hours, but I listened to it in like 3 because I listened to it as like a double speed. It is basically just a book all about different females in mythology from all over the world. I gave this 2 stars. Okay, so like the brief, like diverse descriptions and like dive into different goddesses and witches and just, you know, powerful females throughout history and different cultures was really good, but they were brief. That was good. It was just when the author started like trying to put like modern inspirations in that I was like, I can't deal with it. Like, why are we like she was comparing Greta Thunberg to like Artemis, and then she was like comparing like Hillary Clinton and Oprah to goddesses, and I was just like, oh, have we not learned enough about like Hillary Clinton and Oprah that we know that they've pitted women in the past? Why are we comparing them to goddesses? And I just thought that made it seem like very kind of like a uni dissertation, which just, no, I just couldn't get past that. But if you're wanting like a really brief overview of different goddesses from different cultures, you could like skim read this book, but there wasn't like enough depth, I felt. So yeah, 2-star listen. But I did learn about like some other like fierce warriors and females that I hadn't heard of before, so that was definitely interesting. Okay, so last, we have Crescent City. We have House of Earth and Blood, Sarah J. Maas, very popular. A lot of you will probably have read it. This is the hardback. It is a big book, 800 pages. Five stars. Is this the only 5-star book I read in August? I think so. 5 stars, all the stars, so many stars. I love this book. I love this book so fucking much. Oh my god. Do you like the synopsis? Because I won't do it justice otherwise. leaving her bereft, wounded and alone. When the accused is behind bars, but the crimes start up again, Bryce finds herself at the heart of the investigation. She'll do whatever it takes to avenge their deaths. Hunt Athalar is a notorious fallen angel, now enslaved to the archangels he once attempted to overthrow. His brutal skills and incredible strength have been set to one purpose, to assassinate the boss's enemies, no questions asked. But with a demon wreaking havoc in the city, he's offered an irresistible deal. Help Bryce find the murderer, and his freedom will be within reach. As Bryce and Hunt dig deep into Crescent City's underbelly, they discover a dark power that threatens everything and everyone they hold dear, and they find in each other a blazing passion. One that could set them both free if they'd only let it. I thought it was too long, but I did not think it was long enough. I love the world building in it. I could read thousands and thousands of pages of Bryce and Hunt. I would read them going to a supermarket and getting the weekly shop. I would read them fucking cooking porridge in the morning. I would read anything that they do. I thought the world building was so good. The characters were just amazingly done. The depth of the book was just insane. Also, Bryce's humour is 100% me, so love her for that. Obsessed. I also really liked the pace of the book. I was not bored at any point. I just ate this the fuck up, and I will never stop talking about it ever. Such a good fantasy read. It's September now. It's September what day is it today? The 5th when I'm filming this, and today I've just finished House of Sky and Breath, and I'm fucking deceased. I'm deceased.